blessing for sure. It's been a blessing to be here. Worked very hard for this moment, and so for me, I think it's kind of like nostalgia being back here. Definitely blessed to be back in Indy. Had a lot of good fortune here last time I was here, so yeah, it's definitely a blessing to be here. And I'm excited for the moment. I'm excited for the opportunity. I kind of envisioned this day for a long time as a kid. Didn't really understand what it would be like, but I'm glad to be here for sure.
What were those memories like when you got back to Indy? I mean, what exactly did you start thinking about, in January?
You just kind of get those chill bumps, you know what I mean, walking through. It's kind of, you remember a lot, you know what I mean? You remember a lot, but you remember a little at the same time because you know what you're here for. But yeah, it's amazing. They'll teach you to play really fast. You got to be able to recall it. And for me, I feel like that's one of the things that makes me special, just my ability to recall plays, to understand schemes instead of just assignments. And for me, I enjoy that part of the game. I feel like I'm a very heady player, very knowledgeable player, and that kind of speaks to my versatility as well. So yeah, I enjoy that part of it.
Have you met with the Steelers?
Yes, I have. I met with them briefly, either yesterday or the day before. It's kind of a general brief conversation, but I'm enjoying getting to know them more.
Have you met with the Arizona Cardinals?
Yes, I believe I did as well. Yep, met with the Bengals as well.
What was your impression of the Bengals?
Kind of similar things. A lot of the meetings I had recently just have been, kind of those general meetings of them trying to get to know me trying to get to know them. A lot of times they'll quiz you, see what you know, and try to see your football IQ, see what you learned in college, maybe teach them your favorite play from college or something like that. Just kind of get an idea of what kind of player you are, how knowledgeable you are, and stuff like that. But I enjoyed meeting them.
Jamaree, what kind of feedback did you get from your week at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, for me, just showed a lot of versatility. A lot of people talked about how they enjoyed watching me show my versatility. Enjoyed how physical I was there. Just enjoyed watching me play, honestly. I know talking to Coach Fraley from the Detroit Lions, he talked about how versatile I was, how he felt like if he drafted me, he wouldn't have a problem with me understanding the playbook or anything like that. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed my time there, learning from him, learning from that awesome staff. They did a great job coaching me. Say it one more time. Yes, position versatility. Yeah. Kind of all over. I kind of got questions about all five positions. I know everybody likes to kind of put me in that box of inside guy because of quote unquote lack of athleticism. But I've played in the SEC 4 years, good 4 years. I think I've only given up 2 sacks to great players. Anytime my number was called on to hold a guy down and to do my job, I was there. I did it. I competed at the highest level that I could. So I think it's interesting that people like to say that and not get a knock on my athleticism. But it is what it is.
Did you meet with the Patriots?
I don't think I've met with the Patriots yet.
Do you have a connection with any of those 2 offensive linemen from Bulldogs?
Yeah, I remember Isaiah. He helped recruit me. I watched Isaiah a lot, actually. He's kind of very, similar to me, size-wise, measurement-wise. But he's a great player, freaky player for the University of Georgia. Helped recruit me. I remember meeting with him like one G-Day. Kind of sat me down in the locker room. It was kind of just like, this is the place you need to be. Coach Pittman is this and that. So, yeah, I enjoyed talking to him then. Everybody speaks highly of him that's played with him. So, yeah.
What about David Andrews?
That David Andrews actually did a play breakdown for us one week. It's kind of cool. Listen to that guy, man. He's got a crazy football mind. You can tell why he's been in the league so long. Played on a great team. So, yeah, definitely had the honor to meet him as well.
What about playing in it? How excited are you to see George Pickens at the next level?
Oh, man. I think it's kind of like a volcano waiting to erupt. You know what I mean? Everybody knows he's good, but I don't think people really understand how special he is. I mean, that's one of those special talents, man. Like, a team would be lucky to have that on their roster. Like, he's freaky. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that.
What do you think about the SEC? Playing in the SEC gives you the advantage going to the next level.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. It's a different brand of football week to week. It's physical football. I don't think it's matched by any conference, in my opinion, personally. And I play teams from almost every conference now, or at least the big ones at least, Power 5. So, yeah, this is a different brand of football. The way that we lean on each other, the way that it gets physical, the practice habits, going in and out every single day. I just don't think any conference can match that. And I think it's kind of very similar to the NFL. You got very great players at every single position. There's no drop off. There's, a guy can go down in the depth chart. You're like, oh, the next guy can't be that good. Well, he might be a 5-star coming out of high school. He might be just as good as the first guy. So I think for me, it's very similar to the NFL in that regard. But obviously, it's a little different. But yeah, I think that conference definitely gets you ready for that type of.
Jamaree, you had obviously hundreds of reps at tackle. Yet you said there's only 2 sacks. Do you remember those 2 plays? Who were they against out of those hundreds of reps you took out?
Oh yeah, no doubt. My first sack, I gave up both sacks to the same team, Alabama. First sack, Will Anderson jumped snap on me in the 4th quarter. Just made a great football play. He great player. Honestly, they've been doing pretty well against most of the whole game. But he jumped the snap, ended up grabbing Stetson. I was trying to run around the hoop, but he ended up getting his hands on Stetson, bringing him down late in the fourth quarter in the SEC championship. And the second sack I gave up was, honestly, I was honestly really nervous about it. That was a national championship. Christian Harris, another great football player, kind of gave me a little hesitation move. I was at guard. It's like one of my first snaps at guard. And, he kind of beat me inside, and I ended up giving a sack. Honestly, it could have changed the game, so I'm very fortunate, very blessed to have the defense that we had. Gave us a chance to be able to flip the game back on them. But, it's the only 2 sacks I've given in my career. So
How did Georgia flip that game?
I think we just kind of made it simple. Put the ball on the ground, looked at the coach, and said, "Coach, let's go. Let's put it on our backs." The offensive line, we were ready. We wanted to get physical, making a one-dimensional game, eat up some clock as well. They had a very explosive offense, so we wanted to eat up some clock, get the offense off the field, give our defense a break. They just bailed us out again in that drive because of me. So, we wanted to give them a break and be able to get physical with them, run downhill, and got it kick-started with James in that big run. So.
What does Georgia need to do to stay on top of Alabama?
I think just not forget the work that went into it. I talk about that a lot. It's so much work that went into that season, that national championship. It didn't just happen. Everybody likes to put it on the talent, but it was so much work. And I hope those guys never really undervalue what that work meant to this team, the leadership that went into it. It just all when I think about it, I just think about we won a national championship, but I think about all the hard days we put into it, the practices, the meetings, and walkthroughs. It was really special.
Jamaree, we hear the Alabama guys say they could have or would have won if this guy hadn't got hurt or that guy hadn't. I mean, how do you respond to that? I mean, obviously the SEC rivalries are what they are, but it seems like we're going to have a whole off season here in Alabama. People saying they would have or could have, should have won that game.
Game's over. We scored more points.
In your 4 years, you had a lot of snaps. Who was the best guy you faced?
I've gotten that question a lot. It kind of goes back to what DJ was asking me, man. The SEC is freaky. So, you would have a guy that kind of, everybody thinks is a really good player and is a good player, but it kind of plays into what you're good at. And so to you, it may not be as much of a problem, but, there may be that one guy that nobody talks about. He's like, man, this guy's a problem. He's fast. He may be this and that. And so I think for me, there's a lot of talented players. Will Anderson, of course, really great player. Kingsley Barry, I don't want to butcher his last name. Really great player from South Carolina. Aiden Hutchinson, really great player. David Ojabo, I had to run in the mill. So that's why it's always, to me, it's kind of interesting. It's like I've played all these great players. Really give up a sack. I held my end of the bargain for our team, but it's always a question of my athleticism. And whenever a question is there. So, yeah.
Jamaree, you were a 5-star. Some of the guys here, 14 Georgia guys. Some of them were 3 stars. How much do you look at the talent that was on hand at Georgia? How much the coaches developed to get 14 guys here?
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. You look at a guy like Jordan Davis, it's always a prime example. Started off as a scout team player, kind of came in overweight. We all did, honestly, as freshmen, overweight, kind of trying to find our way. And then this guy was playing my week 6, as a freshman, as an 18-year-old, I think 17, honestly, 17, 18-year-old kid. And so it's kind of crazy to think about, just the work. Like I said, it all comes back to the work. Those tough days, those days you're like, man, is this for me? You know what I mean? It kind of questions you sometimes, but you push through that. Coaches will love when you pat you on the back at the end of the day. But, yeah, the development definitely was there. I don't think anybody should question that because talent needs to be developed. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody really just walks in the door and plays. Even though it may seem like that from game 1 of their freshman year, fall camp and the spring workouts and summer workouts, that's development, and we all need it.
After the SEC championship, the word was out that you guys seem to be out of shape. Was that true, and how did you address it?
Yeah, we did. We addressed it. It was kind of one of those things where Coach Smart kind of sat us down as a leadership group, as a team, and I kind of just looked at those sober truths. One of them was that we were out of shape. Another one that we had a lot of wasted plays in that game. Wasn't really that they just whooped us. It's that we turned the ball over. And a team like that, great football, if you turn the ball over, you're out of shape, not doing things the right way, long coverage on the back end, you're going to lose. You're going to lose convincingly. So for us, we wanted to look at those truths every single day and just get 1% better. If we can get 1% more in shape between now and Michigan, that's what we kept saying. We get 1% more executed plays better, we'll be better. So for us, it was kind of that race of the four-legged race between us and the other 4 teams. We wanted to get 1% better than them every single day.
It seems like it was a couple of years ago you were working out with Andrew when he was preparing for this.
Yeah.
How much did working out with Andrew Thomas help you prepare for the combine?
This kind of gave me the insight, which is a blessing to me. He's always kind of been that way with me and Andrew. He's kind of always walked the hot road before I did and kind of cooled it down for me. So I'm always blessed to have him for that. But just being able to work with him, seeing how he went through it, and I honestly got to be very close to him because of COVID. He actually stayed with us a lot. And Athens until he had to ship out to New York. So I got to work a lot more than I probably would have got to work with a lot of guys that I'm younger than, but I'm older than. And so I'm blessed to be able to have had the opportunity, got to be able to see things from his perspective, talk to him, talk about this and that. And so it was awesome. I enjoyed it.
You had to give any head coach one game. So you show him one game of yours. Which game would it be to say, hey, ref me?
I'd say either the SEC championship this year or maybe the Clemson game. Starting off as a hot game for us. So yeah, I enjoyed that game.
What have you been working on this offseason, getting ready for the combine?
Yeah, for me, so just becoming a more well-rounded player, being able to show my true versatility. I've been working on snapping a lot. Snapping, a lot of teams want to make sure they got a center in me. I know they got a center in me. I practice center every single day in practice. I snap all the time. And so for me, it's just one of those things that I make sure that I know in my mind that is a good thing in my tool bag. And so just being a well-rounded player in that regard, showing my true versatility, being a smarter football player, it's going to be something that's going to be required at the next level, especially as a center if that opportunity presents itself. Just recovering my body. It's been a long season. Got however many games plus the Senior Bowl on top of that. So for me, just recovering my body, making sure I'm in optimal shape to be able to compete.
You're going to go through all the drills here at the
No, I'm honestly actually probably going to save a lot of drills for the pro day, just to be able to give my body a full chance to recover, be able to show up my best product out there. So yeah.
Mario, it seems like we kind of glossed over that Clemson game now because the season took on its own life. But how important was it to win that game? A lot of people are saying, it didn't really matter if you won or lost. You'd still control your own destiny. But how important was that game, and just how intense was that game when you look back on last season?
I think if you look at the numbers and the rankings and this and that, it didn't really matter, from that perspective. And Coach Smart told us that going into it. But for us, we want to win every single game we played. For us, it was a matter of their best against our. You think they're the best, and at the time, I think they were ranked ahead of us. I want to say, you think they're better than us? We're gonna put it on the line, and we're gonna duke it out. And so for us, that's what mattered to us. We wanted to be able to show that we were better than them, just off a competition standpoint. And it also is kind of a springboard. You know what I mean? Starting off holiday, they got a chance with that next year playing Oregon, I think, in Atlanta. So it's just kind of one of those springboard games that kind of give you a chance to be special. You get games like that kind of build confidence, and enough talent, enough work. Get a national championship. So.
Jamaree, have you had a formal meeting with the producers, or do you anticipate having one here in Indianapolis during the week?
I have not. I would like to have one. I look forward to having one if the opportunity presents itself, but I haven't had one.
Have you talked to them at this?
I have talked to them. I talked to them informally here as well. So I met with them.
Or do you have any goals that you want to hit in your pro day or the combine here? Any speed goals or rep goals you want to get?
Nothing off the top of my head. I don't want to put a number on it specifically. But I think for me, I've been a lot of what I've been working on is definitely the bench. Definitely wanting to hit above 30, north of 30 on the bench. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I like bench press. I like working out in general. So bench is definitely gonna be part of my favorite thing, my most exciting thing I do there.
Are you holding anything until pro day? Are you doing everything here?
No, I'll probably do all my workouts in pro day.
Give us a look at maybe some of the rising stars on the offensive line that are coming back.
Yeah, so you talk about rising stars. We got Buku. We got Broderick Jones. Obviously, finished up in the national championship game against two great edge rushers they had. He's going to be special at that left tackle spot. Freak athlete, come to high school, play basketball, get dunk, all of that stuff. So he's going to be a freak athlete holding down that left tackle spot. It's going to be competitive now. I know that for sure. I don't want to be by in a certain spot, but I just know guys are going to be good. Jamaree Smith is going to be a great player to look out for. Warren McClendon coming back for his senior year, going to be a great athlete. Cedric Van Pran coming back being a leader. Warren Erickson. Tate Rattley's back is going to be used for those guys as well. Wishing him a speedy recovery as well. We just got great players. I can go down the whole list. Xavier Truss, you got Devin Woodlook, looks like freaking a mountain walking through the locker room. And even the young guys that got coming in, I've heard they're really great players, heard great things about them. So I'm excited to see those younger guys develop. Dylan Fairchild, Jared Wilson, Michael Morris. Michael Morris is going to surprise a lot of you guys, so I'm excited to see him.
Were you surprised when you heard Coach Luke was leaving the staff?
Yeah, I was. Honestly, was very surprised. Just his passion for the game. He's been around. He still got that fire. When a coach typically steps away from the game, sometimes a lot of times you see it coming. You see him kind of fizzling out, or maybe not so energetic every single day. But Coach Luke was energetic every single day. Had a spark every single day. Kind of gave us support. Practice, go work hard every single game, every single day. So it's kind of surprising for me, but I respect his decision. It makes sense to me. He's very much a family man, so I can see it from that perspective as well.
Jamaree, who's the best player that you faced when you played on the interior, as well as the best player that you faced when you're on the outside tackle?
In my career this season? This season, outside, I'd probably say Will Anderson. Very high motor guy, freaky athlete, great pass rusher on third down. He's kind of probably the most well-rounded player I've played against. as far as on the edge of my career. I'd say interior. Fedarian Mathis was a good player. I didn't play interior as much this season, but Fedarian Mathis was a great player. I mean, their whole front was really good, really great players. So that's.
How would you describe your game, and what do you want the team to look like?
So I'm a versatile football player. That's number one. I'm a physical football player. I'm a Georgia-bred, UGA, Georgia dog football player, and we were physical every single day in practice. You've seen us practice. We get physical. We get to it. We enjoy practicing. We enjoy the grind and the work. So I'm a grinder. I'm a worker. I'm consistent. I'm relentless. But I'm also a very smart football player. I'm a great kid. I have great character. I'm a high character guy. That speaks for itself. You can ask anybody and ask them that question. That's going to echo because that's what I take pride in, is being a high character guy, not having to put my family in a position to have to answer for me for anything that I've done or anything like that. So, but I'm a very versatile football player, very smart, understand schemes really well, and I'm ready to learn. I'm an open football player, and I want to help a team win a Super Bowl. So.
How did Alabama's other pass rusher, Dallas Turner, compare to?
Yeah, he's going to be a great football player, great young kid. I talked to him a little bit after the game. He's going to be special. He's going to be a great football player. So I'm excited to see him develop as well.
Did you meet with the Bills?